This video is about writing an equation in standard form. So there's three forms that we have talked about, which help us get into standard form. So the first form is point slope form. When you have a point and a slope, the point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The key characteristic to know that you are in point slope form is that it has parentheses. Next, we have slope-intercept form, and in slope-intercept form, we know the slope and the y-intercept. That is y equals mx plus b. The key characteristic of slope-intercept form is that y is isolated, which means it's by itself. Our last form then is standard form. Standard form is very important for when we get to solving systems of equations later. So in standard form, we're going to have ax plus by equals c. The a value must always be positive. Key characteristics here are that the x and y are on the same side and there are no fractions. So we want to move the following equations into standard form. So we want to get x and y on one side and the constant, that number, by itself on the other side. So in this case, we want to get 5 by itself on the right. We want x and y on the left. So we need to move 2x and 3y to the other side by switching their signs. So we are going to subtract 2x from both sides, and we are going to add 3y to both sides. So this gets us 2x plus 8y equals 5. Our value in front of x is positive, so we are done here. In number 2, we want to move the 4x to the side by subtracting. Remember, we want our x to be first, so I'm going to do that first. Negative x minus 4x gets us negative 5x plus 6y equals negative 7. Now, we want the first term to be a positive number. So because we have negative 5, we want to multiply by negative 1 to switch the sign. So we have 5x minus 6y equals 7. So anytime that there is a negative number in front of that x term, we have to multiply by negative 1 before we're done. In 3 and 4, we want to move from slope-intercept form to standard form. So slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b. So we need to move the x value to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. And I get negative 4x plus y equals negative 10. Again, I need that first term to be positive, so I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. 4x minus y is equal to 10. In number 4, to get the x and y on the same side, we're going to add 5x to both sides. So we have 5x plus y is equal to 12. That term in front of x is positive. So we're done simplifying. If we are in standard form or slope-intercept form and it has a fraction like 5 and 6 do, we want to multiply by the denominator to clear the fraction. So to multiply by the denominator, that is the bottom number of the fraction. Okay, we're always going to multiply by a positive and then worry about if we have the correct sign later on. So in the first one, because we have y equals 2/5 x minus 12, we want to multiply everything by 5 because that was in the denominator. When you multiply by the number by the denominator, those cancel out, so they're just going to leave you that other number. So we have 5y equals the numerator 2x minus 12. Nope, sorry, minus 60. Then we want to move the 2x to the other side, so we're going to subtract 2x. Negative 2x plus 5y is equal to negative 60. We need the number in front of the x to be positive, so we're going to multiply by negative 1. 2x minus 5y is equal to 60. In number 3, we have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 18. So to get rid of that fraction, we're going to multiply by 3 because that's in the denominator. So we get 3y equals negative 1x plus 54. Then we're going to add 1x to both sides. So we get x plus 3y is equal to 54. The x has a positive in front of it, so we are good. We don't have to multiply in this one. Now we're going to move the equation from point slope form to standard form. So in point slope form, we have the parentheses. So the first step to get rid of our parentheses is to distribute. So y minus 10 equals 2x plus 10. Then we want to go to standard or to slope intercept form. So we want to get the y by itself first. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. Y equals 2x plus 20. Then we can move the y over to get into standard form. So we're going to subtract the 2x to get on the same side as the y. Negative 2x plus y is equal to 20. Remember though, we need a positive in front of the x, so we're going to multiply by negative 1. 2x minus y is equal to negative 20. In number 8, we have y plus 3 equals negative 6 times x minus 8. So our first step here is we are going to distribute the negative 6. Y plus 3 is equal to negative 6x plus 48. Then to get the y by itself, we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals negative 6x plus 45. And then we need to get the number by itself and x and y together. So we're going to add 6x to both sides. 6x plus y is equal to 45. Because 6 is positive, we have finished. In number 9, we're going to distribute the negative 2/3. So we get y minus 4 equals negative 2/3 x minus 8. We want to get the y by itself, so we're going to add 4 to both sides. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 4. Then to get rid of the fraction, we want to multiply by the number in the denominator. So we want to multiply by 3. 3y equals negative 2x minus 12. We're going to add 2x to both sides. 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 12. In number 10, we have y plus 1 equals 1/5 x minus 15. So we are going to distribute the 1/5. Y plus 1 equals 1/5 x minus 3. We can subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals 1/5 x minus 4. Then to get rid of the fraction, we're going to multiply both sides by 5. 5y equals 1x minus 20. We can subtract 1x from both sides. So we have negative 1x plus 5y is equal to negative 20. Then when we multiply by negative 1, x minus 5y is equal to 20. So remember the steps to write in standard form. You're going to put the equation in point slope form. Remember y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Then you're going to move the equation into slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Remember to get rid of any fractions by multiplying by the denominator, which is the bottom of the fraction, not the numerator, which is the top. You want to move the x term to the side with the y term, and then make sure that your order goes x, then y, then equal to the constant, which is just the number. So in number 11, if our slope is negative 5 and our point is 4, negative 2, in point slope form, we would have y plus 2 equals negative 5 times x minus 4, because this is x1 and y1. To go into slope intercept form, we are going to distribute the negative 5. Y plus 2 equals negative 5x plus 20. Then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals negative 5x plus 18. That is slope intercept form. And then to get into standard form, we would add 5x to both sides. So we would have 5x plus y is equal to 18 as our standard form. Okay, so let's start this whole process with the slope of 1/2, and our point is negative 8/10. So in point slope form, we would have y minus 10 equals 1/2 times x plus 8. Remember when we put our coordinates in, they switch their sign for point slope form. So I'm going to write that on the line over here. Then to get into slope-intercept form, our first step here is to distribute. Y minus 10 equals 1/2 x plus 4. And then we're going to add 10 to both sides to get y by itself. So we get 1/2 x plus 14. That is our slope-intercept form. Then to get into standard form, we first need to get rid of the fraction. So because it has a denominator of 2, we're going to multiply by 2. So we get 2y equals 1x plus 14. We can subtract 1x on both sides. So we get negative 1x plus 2y is equal to 14. Remember, though, that the term in front of x has to be positive, so we're going to multiply by negative 1 to change the sign everywhere. So x minus 2y is equal, this should be 28. So equals negative 28. In number 13, we have 2 points without the slope, so we need to find our slope first. So remember, our slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to have 8 minus negative 6 and 5 minus 7. That gets us 14 over negative 2, which reduces to negative 7. So let's take our slope of negative 7 and our first point, and we're going to write in point slope form. So we would have y plus 6 equals negative 7 times x minus 7. Then to go to slope-intercept form, first we're going to distribute. Y plus 6 equals negative 7x plus 49. Then we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. Y equals negative 7x plus 43. That is our slope-intercept form. Then to get to standard form, we need to move that x over. So we are going to add 7x to both sides. So we have 7x plus y is equal to 43. So let's try one more problem where again we have to find our slope first. So we have negative 2 minus 4. We have negative 5 minus 7. That gets us negative 6 over negative 2, which reduces to 1/2. So we are going to use our slope of 1/2 and our first point, and we're going to write in point slope form. So we have y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x minus 7. To get into slope-intercept form, we're going to distribute the half. Y minus 4 equals 1/2 x minus 7 over 2. And then we can add 4 to both sides. Y equals 1/2 x plus 1/2. Remember, it's okay to have fractions as a y-intercept sometimes. To get to standard form, we are going to multiply everything by 2. So we get 2y equals x plus 1. We can subtract x from both sides. So we have negative x plus 2y equals 1. We're going to have to multiply by negative 1 to make x positive. So x minus 2y equals negative 1.